All right, we are live. We're recording. Welcome to season 2 of the Cozy Hearth podcast, where the Cozy Vales Scribes are sharing all the shenanigans that are happening in the Vales. I'm going to start off with a quick intro from each of the scribes who are joining me today, starting with Mr. Phillip Sanderson.
I am Philip. How are you doing, Scott? Everything good?
Everything's
Good.
amazing, sir. You're here. You were all here.
I'm
It's awesome.
excited.
It's awesome.
I I am writing short stories. I started writing series about 3 years ago, and write short stories of all kinds, but especially happy to be writing cozy fantasy in the Vales. So my Vale is Clover Vale, and I've had three stories and one coming up.
Fantastic. We love having you writing in the Vales as well. Thank you. Kim, how about you?
Hi, I'm Kim. I write as KM Jackways. I've got an urban fantasy series and a series of paranormal cozy mysteries, and my stories always end up being about wonderfully witchy women.
I love that tagline. That's awesome. Thank you very much. Rebecca.
I am Rebecca Buchanan. I write fairy tales, fantasy, mystery, romance, sci-fi, mostly short stories, some novellas, and recently expanded out into a novel.
Fantastic. Awesome. Thank you very much. Rounding us out, Mary, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Mary Stephenson Sue, and I'm joining us today from Cypress Vale, which is Coastal Vale in Cozy Vales. And I also write a series of teen fantasy romances that are pretty cozy with nerdy teen elves in the Valley Glen Elves series. I've been writing for about 5 years, pretty seriously now.
Fantastic. For our podcast listeners, Mary's background is a coastal view, and I have to say the weather in Cypress Vale looks amazing right now. All right, thank you very much. Appreciate the introductions. We are talking about autumn themed get togethers, gatherings, traditions, rituals, food, favorite drinks, activities, etc., in the run up to the release of Wish Upon a Falling Leaf, which is a very important anthology for Cozy Vales because it is our first non seasonal anthology. This idea came about actually in season 1 of the Cozy Hearth podcast. So if you haven't listened to that episode, rewind, search it up, go find our list, go take a look at that podcast. It was not an episode I was on. I heard all about this later. And when I heard about the idea for the theme of Wish Upon a Falling Leaf, I was in 100%. The idea that a magic wishing tree shows up. And if you manage to catch a falling leaf from this magical tree and make a wish, your wish comes true. And I thought that was awesome and a perfect theme for an anthology in Cozy Vale. So I'm excited. I've got a story written for it. Several other scribes do as well. We can't wait to share this with you. Starting with, let's talk about some traditions. Let's talk about some of the autumn things that go along with this to get us in the mood for this upcoming anthology. I'm going to go in reverse. I'm going to ask Mary if she's got something she wants to share with us.
When I was a kid, our house we always did for Halloween. My mom had all of these like kitschy 1970s Halloween decorations. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen anything like it, but she had these like decor items for fall that were like accordion tissue paper things, like a black cat, and you'd fold them up and they would store like in a folder skinny. But for Halloween, we brought out like the black cat with the witch's hat and like the pumpkin, and they would go 3D, like open them out and they'd like accordion out into these crazy. And they were like, by the time I was a kid, they were like 20, 30 years old. And so, very vintage.
I was going to say, can we not call them kitschy? From somebody my age, I would like to call them vintage, please, because they see that sounds classic to
I
me.
think they were both like
Absolutely.
kitschy and vintage. And
Ah,
we
okay.
also we ha also had this ghost on our front porch, and it was brand new technology at the time. It was motion sensor. And so it would like dance and sing when somebody came up to it. And like we lived there, but I swear we were scared by it. Every single time we went in, it would be like, woo. And it caught us by surprise every time.
Every time, years later,
I
where's all
think
that now?
it does not function anymore. And I don't know what happened. Like the Halloween decorations, they just didn't come out at a certain point, but like they might still be in my mom's garage. I would not be surprised.
Ooh, I think Mary's got some homework before the next podcast recording.
Yeah, I might put my sister on that. She's kind of got the job of helping mom clean out her stuff. So maybe she's already found them and they're gone now. I don't know. My sister is very good at decluttering. I am not. I am more of a saver.
Love. Okay, well, we're anxiously awaiting your answer on a future episode. I'm very curious. Was there a tradition in terms of who did what? Like, did you get to the privilege of putting up the cat or the witch? Did you kind of do whatever? Were the kids involved? Did your mom do all of it? How'd that go about?
I definitely helped out. Like I was younger than my brothers and sisters, so I don't know, maybe they were sick of it by the time they were teenagers, and so I was doing it. But that was always, I've always been kind of a seasonal decor person. Like I think I've always been a little cozy at heart. So I liked decorating for the holidays, fall, Christmas, all that stuff.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, so technically, I mean, I think Thanksgiving in the US, technically November, technically the end of fall. So were you doing similar Thanksgiving 3D
We had like
umbrella
pumpkin
stuff?
ones. They stayed
Okay.
up, you know. I don't think the black cat got to stay up much after
Mm.
Halloween. My mom was pretty strict about, keeping things in their own time frame.
Every holiday needs its time. Can't have too much overlap. I get that. I like that. Awesome. Very much. Okay, so thanks for sharing that. Rebecca, how about you? What was going on in your house when you were growing up? Or
Well, we
what's
didn't.
going on now as an adult? What are you doing in your house now?
Oh, absolutely nothing. I love the holidays because I don't have to do anything. I have no friends and family over, just my husband and me. We just sit on the couch, we eat our favorite foods, and watch dumb movies. That is our holiday tradition now. It's so
I am
stress-free. I
100%
love
on
it.
board for that. That's great.
What,
Yeah.
Rebecca, what's a dumb movie that you like to watch? What's a favorite?
Uh, we rewatch things like The Fifth Element all the time. The first Die Hard, the first Mummy movie with Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz. His big thing for Christmas is watching A Christmas Story. He's got to watch that every year. We always watch A Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah, the usual ones. But when I was a kid, we didn't do much in my house other than the usual Christmas decorating. All the like seasonal holiday theme decorating stuff was always at school. We
Mm.
always did stuff around the holidays at school. We would have a Halloween day at school. We had a Thanksgiving day. We had a Christmas day before Christmas break. We'd make all those terrible construction paper decorations that kids got to take home, covered in terrible glitter that we just got absolutely everywhere that your parents had to pretend they liked and hang up for a few months and they disintegrate and you throw them in the trash. So, my holidays were school oriented more than home oriented.
That's fair, and I totally get that. And I'm having like flashbacks to the like draw your hand in the turkey. Like we all did that. I don't even know how that became a thing, but clearly every elementary school had the same playbook for that.
It had to. And if you can get, I don't know, pine cones, little piece of pine cones to use as the feathers on the turkey, it's even better.
Okay, I know this is not autumn themed, but did anyone do like the glitter tipped pine cones for Christmas? No.
No.
Okay.
I
Maybe
don't think I
maybe that was
did.
limited to Virginia and the elementary schools in Virginia. Okay. All right. That
Okay,
was
but I
fun.
have to share, Rebecca was talking about Halloween at school, and it kind of unlocked a memory that I feel like I haven't remembered in a long time. But we used to, at our school, we had bobbing for donuts. Instead of bobbing for apples, because that's clearly unsanitary, all those kids sticking their face in the bucket of water, they hung, it must have been like all the parents must have done this. They hung strings of donuts from the ceiling. And you would go and you had to like pick a donut and bite it. And if you bit it, they would take it down for you and you got to eat the whole thing. But you had to like put your face in there and it was on a string, so it would move around.
Those
That's
parents are
awesome.
committed.
Yeah, every year. It was like a special
Seriously.
thing for my elementary school.
Now I want a donut.
Mhm.
Same. Same. Okay. I wish if you're listening to this on a podcast, please try to go look up the YouTube video on our channel. Yeah, youtube.com/ at Cozy Vales, because Mary was literally demonstrating how her technique for getting this donut. And I presume it worked because I'm presuming you got donuts.
Yeah, that's what you had to do. It wasn't like just
Yeah.
me, everybody, because they were hung, they weren't like stable, they were moving.
And did you have a technique where did you like knock it to try and make it swing so you got some actual like energy? Was
I
it
don't
like,
think so. I feel like it was like a string from the ceiling to the floor, and I feel like there was multiple donuts, and maybe it was weighted at the floor because it wasn't like free swinging. We weren't hitting each other with them, but
oh,
they
got it.
definitely moved.
Okay.
I
So,
think we
so
need this in Cozy Vales,
I was
donut
gonna
pulling.
say, I'm issuing a challenge right now to all the scribes. I want to see this in a future story. But it sounds to me like the adults were pretty smart insofar as you weren't like swinging, donut ropes
No.
at each other, which sounds also kind of fun.
That sounds way more fun and entertaining watching the kids actually chase the donuts around on the strings and running into each other and tripping and donuts breaking in pieces and getting mushed into the floor.
Hold up. Did we just come up with the next non-seasonal theme for our anthology?
What is it, bobbing
I
for
think we might
donuts?
have. I
Donut
think we
bombing.
might have.
I'm just
Donut
thinking,
wars.
I mean, I like Bismarck donuts. I like Boston creams. I'm not sure they work as well as just a straight, I don't know, ring donut.
Well,
I'm trying to
clearly
figure
you
out how to
haven't
get
had a cinnamon
my
apple
Boston
donut, my
cream on one of
friend.
those bad boys.
You have not had a cinnamon apple donut, my friend.
I those they don't taste like apple to me. They just taste like heavily sugared cinnamon donuts.
Mm.
The apple gets lost in a lot of the times. The apple cider donuts around here in the
Okay.
western part of the state of Virginia,
Yeah.
West apple cider donuts are really popular.
So, well, I mean, clearly one of those words doesn't belong in that, but that's okay. That's a subjective call, and that may be part of the problem, my friend. Maybe you just need an apple donut.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Let's jump to Kim. Kim, tell us about some traditions maybe that you grew up with or you're currently enjoying.
Well, I'm in the upside down land of Aotearoa, New Zealand. So we have in autumn we have Easter, and we do a family Easter egg hunt that I may have mentioned before on one of these. I'm not sure. And it's a massive undertaking that my mum does the whole thing, and she writes cryptic clues, like separate sets of cryptic clues for each person, and they go like from one clue to the next, and then at the end you have the chocolate eggs hidden in the garden. So yeah.
So the hunt is not necessarily like here in the US, we're typically like grab a basket and you're just randomly running around the grass and looking in bushes and trees. Your mom's
No,
got
this
this
is
like
cerebral. This
mystery
is
trail of clues.
intellectual. Yeah,
It's like a lot of work for your mom. Holy cow.
it
She
is. It's
deserves an
like
award for that.
10 clues per person, and they're like cryptic clues, like a cryptic crossword.
Oh,
So yeah,
wow.
yeah.
I don't
And
suppose you
my
kept any
kids
of those,
still do it
did
in
you?
their teens. So yeah,
I'm sorry, what did you say?
my kids still do it in their teens now because they
So
love
are
it.
you writing the clues?
I do help mum sometimes, yeah, but she's still doing it.
Oh, I'd love to
One
see
day
some of the
I'll have to
clues.
take it over.
So are they little strips of paper? Or is it like a
Yeah,
piece of paper and you solve each clue?
little tiny strips of paper, and they get folded up really
Okay.
small. Sometimes they're inside, like one time it was inside an abacus, like right in the back. It's
Wow.
it's quite crazy, yeah.
That's awesome. You really work for it, but a chocolate egg, that would be worth effort. I think that would be worth the effort. So is this a solid chocolate egg,
A
cream
cream
filled?
egg, peanut butter filled, caramel filled.
It's about half a dozen eggs per person at the
Okay,
end.
nice. What's the brand down there?
We've got Cadbury and Whittaker's.
What's your favorite?
Oh, Whittaker's is a New Zealand classic. If you haven't tried it, it's absolutely amazing.
I don't think I've ever seen it up here. It's on my bucket
Uh,
list now.
Maybe I'll
What?
have to send you some, Scott.
Would you? Wait, I will
Yeah.
pay for it. I will totally pay for it. Just let me know how much the cost is. I know shipping's going to be insane. I'll have to wait weeks for it, but it would be totally worth it. That would be awesome.
The other scribes are going
Yeah,
to feel
shipping
left
will be
out.
insane.
Well,
What
the
was that,
other
Philip?
scribes can pay Kim to ship Whitaker's eggs to their homes too. No one's saying I'm the only one getting them.
Yeah, I might need to.
And pineapple lumps. That's also another New Zealand
Oh,
classic as well. It's got like sort of a chewy pineapple flavor on the inside with just a thin bit of chocolate on the outside.
Oh, that sounds
mm.
amazing. Is that going to make it in shipping? Is that going to survive across the ocean?
Yeah, we
Okay,
spent a year in France once, and my parents sent me all that sort of stuff.
I will take a case of each, Kim. Thank you very much. Let me know what I owe you. I'll have
Yeah,
an
I'll
unboxing
send you
video.
an
It'd be
address and I'll
great.
do it.
Awesome. So you're currently carrying the tradition on. It sounds like your mom's still doing the clues. You're helping her out sometimes, but you're like handing this down to the third generation in your family then.
Yeah.
And how old? You said they're teenagers,
Yeah, my son's 18 and my daughter is 13.
and they still do it willingly and have fun.
Yeah, and the
That's
cousins as well.
that's awesome. My kids
Yeah.
ditched the whole basket Easter hunt thing, like that whole that they maybe made it to maybe I want to say 10 years old. And then they all tapped out and were like, that just eh. But clearly we were not giving them Whitaker eggs. So maybe that's where we were going wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Thanks so much for sharing, Kim. Phillip Sanderson, what's going on in Virginia, my friend?
Not much. I got to tell you first that the whole clues thing reminds me of a story for another time, where my father, he had the grandkids up. He made them answer trivia questions in order to get their Christmas presents. But
Mhm.
and they were ship based. They were nautical naval based questions for the children. He had them stratified. Anyway, that's a story for another time. Sorry, I realize we're doing autumn and we're not doing Christmas. So, wanted to tell you all about one of the traditions, and I promised Scott that there might be a hat involved. Those of you who are just listening cannot see my wizard hat, but it's quite lovely. My
It is
daughter's
neat.
dog is a fan, but he thinks it's a chew toy. So that's another story too. Anyway, I wanted to tell you that a couple things about autumn traditions for us. Number one,
Well,
um,
hold on. For the podcast listeners, we need to describe the hat you're wearing. I would say dark blue, gray blue.
it's gray blue. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. And it's got this like wavy brim, and it's kind of got this arced conical, like I don't even know, pointy the thing that kind of like curves over like a
Yeah,
crescent moon.
it's a mess. And if you look at the end, you can see the end has been gnawed on.
So a dragon sat on it and then chewed on it.
Yeah, well, not quite a dragon, just a dog. But it does look it's like it's been through it a little bit, right?
No, it looks like a proper wizard's hat.
I've
Mm.
been
That's
there and back again.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
very whimsical. Love it.
I think thank you. Thank you. All right. So we've got two grandkids that live, well, our kids and grandkids live about an hour and a half away. So the grandkids want to go trick or treating. So when the grandkids go trick or treating, Susan and I, my wife, go up to Richmond and we kind of man the house. We man the table, we man the candy, and we let our kids go out and take the grandkids out trick or treating. So it's one of our recent traditions that we've started. We're kind of manning the table. They go all out for decorating lights and stuff and inflatables in the front yard. So that's cool. And so we have a good time. So on the porch, I want to tell you about the porch that the kids have. They've got a swing, and on the swing, there are two skeletons. And one skeleton is a little dog, and the other skeleton is a human being skeleton. And my grandson, 4.5 years old, decided to name his skeleton. Now you might think Bony, Bones, I don't know, something like that. Um, nah. He named it Burj Khalifa. I don't,
How do you even
I got
spell
nothing.
that?
I can't
Is
explain
that
it.
the person or the pet or both?
Not just the person skeleton was Burj Khalifa. Quite honest, after that, think I forgot to ask what the dog was named. I had no idea. Maybe it would have been Notre Dame. I don't know. Have any clue? Maybe it was the pickle. Um, don't have a clue what building he would have named that after. But the human skeleton was Burj Khalifa, and I guess he walks out every morning. Hi, Burj Khalifa. Gets home. Hi, Burj Khalifa. I don't know, but he had that skeleton. So yeah. So we do some Halloween stuff with the family in Richmond, and Thanksgiving is maybe one of our major holidays. And the family gets together in Western Pennsylvania, and we cook too much food and eat too much food. And there is Pennsylvania Dutch food with something called potato filling. You gotta have potato filling plus mashed potatoes plus noodles. It just like I said, there's too much food and there's too much eating, but it's all delicious and it's wonderful. And there's the traditions my family side of the family has kept up, and it's a really nice time. Sometimes they have as many as 40 people come for Thanksgiving dinner at my wife's sister's place. And when it's all done, we play bingo. We play a massive rounds of bingo where people bring their own little prizes in paper bags and label them boy, girl, adult male, something like that. And we play for bingo prizes. And lately the baton has been passed to me to be the bingo caller. So I get to be as obnoxious as I want to be calling a bingo game. So that's a lot of fun. We have a lot of good traditions surrounding the autumn and a lot of good food and a lot of good times.
Yeah, sounds like it. Which of the Sandersons is the bingo player to beat?
Oh, maybe my wife. I don't know.
Sue.
It's
Okay.
Yeah, maybe my wife because she's played it the longest. It's The bingo tradition was the one started by her mother, who's no longer with us, and so really the family's getting together and doing all of this. It is really a nice way to honor, um, the Susan's mother and get together and we have a good time.
Awesome.
It's a lot of fun.
Sounds like it. I love it. Thanks for sharing, man. That's great.
Yeah,
And props for the hat. Again, you warned me. It wasn't
I
a
told
threat.
you, dude, I was
It
going
was
to
a
have a hat,
warning.
right?
Yeah, you delivered.
Yeah, all
You have
right,
to wear it on every Cozy Vales monthly call going forward.
I can do
It's a
that.
rule.
It's a good hat.
I thought you were
So
gonna make him put it in a story. That's what I thought it would be like the
I think we need.
Is
Well, whoa. What is
It
it?
could
There
be
was a
in the donut story.
yeah, and
that
there
the
was
brim
a.
gets in the way of the donut bobbing, I would think. It's a significant brim. Is it Terry Pratchett who had a rule that you can always recognize a wizard because they have to wear hats? Pointy, they wear pointy hats. I think it was Terry. I
It
can't
feels
remember.
right. That
Yeah,
feels right.
I've recently discovered Terry Pratchett and I'm really enjoying the humor. About every month I'll read another one of those. And I feel like where was this all my life? Why wasn't I not reading Terry Pratchett?
I think you should take a look at Tom Holt if you like Terry Pratchett.
Writing that down, dude.
Tom Holt, I've read probably three of his novels. They're not a series, they're all kind of standalone. Very humorous, very British, very dry, very whimsical takes. And it's not dark, but they're serious, topics. But really enjoyed his books. And I would say Douglas Adams and to a certain extent Terry Pratchett and definitely Tom Holt, they were people I was drawing on when I was trying to come up with my voice and tone for my L.A. Scott books set in Cozy Vales. So my books and my stories tend to
Right.
be very full of humor and whimsical, and it's not a question of as far as where that influence came from. Those three authors definitely influenced me. So if you like Pratchett, willing to bet you'll enjoy Holt.
I'll check that out.
Yeah.
I recently thought maybe I should try to channel some Terry Pratchett into some of my stories. So I looked up, what do you call that style? What is that? And one of the responses I get was very, very hard to write. Said because you can come off with some really dumb writing if you try to channel what Terry Pratchett does. And he seems to do it so naturally, so easily, and just the whole Discworld series is very cool.
And he did it in 200 word chunks every day. That was his writing cap. 200 words a day, and then he would stop.
Ow. Good work if you can get it. Nice.
That feels like a definition he wrote for himself too. And that's very on brand for his humor. My traditions, my rituals were very typical, I would say, for the US. For sure, Halloween. Yes. Did I put a sheet over myself as a ghost? Yes, I did. Did I have the really super, super cheap like onesie outfits for superheroes with the really plastic cheap masks that would like rip by the end of the night and were not reusable? Yes, I did. Was it cold several Octobers so that I had to put on a coat over top of my costume, which I did not want to do? Yes, multiple times. Later in life, one of the favorite memories that I have from my college days is coming home for Thanksgiving break. And this happened pretty much late 20s, early 20s, somewhere in there. My brother would go out Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, and get a bushel of oysters, which we would then smoke on the grill. 'Cause I would drive home Wednesday from college, finish up my last class assignment, whatever, hit the road, get home. And usually I would be arriving sometime because of the timing of the year around dusk and roll up, and the grill would already be hot. My brother would have the oysters. He and my dad would throw them on the grill. They'd grill them. I,
Butter.
I like raw oysters, but I literally, my first oysters were grilled, smoked. And that then led into a really unusual time of about maybe 5 to 10 years where we were not doing the traditional turkey dinners. We were doing all seafood.
Mm.
So Thanksgiving meals could be shrimp, mussels, clams, fish, salmon, all that just amazing seafood stuff that we love because we loved seafood in my family. And my mom one year just said, I kind of don't want to do a turkey. I kind of feel like seafood. And we were all like, yes, please, and thank you. So for about 5 to 10 years, I'd come home. Well, I'd even after college, I'd come home and visit. And I would have like this Wednesday, like evening ritual, me and my dad and my brother standing around this grill in the dark, trying to warm our hands over the grill while the oysters are heating up and cracking. And then if you've never done this, the oysters are ready when they actually break on their own. They actually crack open on their own a little bit. You still have to pry them open a little bit with a dull prying tool. Um, but holy cow, standing around this grill in the dark, in the cold, eating oysters right off the grill, so amazing. And then the next day, like just all the seafoods you can eat. That was an amazing tradition. That was an amazing tradition. Not
Do
happening
you
now
do
because
you
my
dip
wife
them
does.
in something?
What's that?
Do you just eat the oyster just straight from the shell, or do you dip it in something? Is there horseradish involved?
Nope. Purists all the way. And I mean, he found this place in Richmond, Virginia that sold amazing oysters. So they were briny, they were small, tender, sweet, just amazing, amazing. And we would literally go through, I think pretty much every year we'd take down a bushel between all of us. But we lit like we're taking cookie trays into the house for everybody else to enjoy in the heated house. And then clearly we were sampling them the entire way. So I mean, a lot of the oysters didn't even make it into the house, but between all of us, we managed to take down about a bushel a year. So that was fun. That was a great tradition, and I love that. My wife, however, the only seafood she likes is caviar, and I went, it took you decades, like literally decades, to discover that she liked caviar. I've been trying to get her to eat caviar forever. And when she finally tried it, she goes, I like this. I'm like, of course, you like literally the most expensive seafood on the market. Of course you do. Of course you do. But I'm not going to ask her to do a seafood Thanksgiving dinner because she hates seafood. That's not fair to her. I will enjoy seafood some other time. But that's one of my favorite traditions from me growing up. Um, what was I going to say? Before we wrap things up, any other autumn traditions, favorite foods, favorite drinks you want to talk about? Jump
I
in.
will I will often make lemon cookies or apple cookies, which come out fairly well. And I've been told they're pretty good, so that's what I like to make.
Is that just around autumn or anytime?
Mostly around autumn, but I can make them anytime I want to. I just haven't done it for a while, so probably autumn.
Very cool. Very cool. Recipe in the family, something you discovered on your own.
Um, it started out as a regular recipe I found in a magazine, I think, and then I just started playing with it and made it my own.
Nice. Nice. Anyone else?
A good mulled cider heating in the kitchen and scent going through the whole house can't be beat. I can't drink a whole lot of it. It's too sweet for me. But you know what? Just let me be in the room where it's on the stovetop, and I'm in good shape.
Same. Totally. Yeah, I feel like the holidays and the fall are very much connected with different scents and aromas for sure. For sure. Deep cut. Right after graduation from college, I used to work at Pier 1 for a little bit. And every winter, they would have these scented, I guess, like straw brooms, for lack of a better term. And smelled horrible because the store just was like reeking of whatever cinnamon and all this other kind of stuff. But we bought one and took one home. That was like all the rage in the 80s. I was like, yeah, that became an association for me with the holidays. So I totally get that, Philip. Totally get that. Awesome. Anyone else want to share a food, a drink, or a horror story from a retail job?
I think we're getting back into, because it's autumn here at the moment, getting back into stews and curries in the slow cooker,
Mm.
and
Okay,
also getting back into sourdough baking.
that's awesome. I would love to see a picture.
I'll remember to take a picture.
Appreciate that. Yeah, throw it in the Cozy Vales Discord. That'd be great.
Mm.
Kim, you have so many things to do for Scott.
Yeah, no, you know what? That's
Pictures,
right. You
food,
know what? Sorry,
candy,
Kim. I'm
donuts.
giving you way too much homework. You know what? The chocolate eggs will be sufficient. Two cases, that will be sufficient. Let me know what I owe you. Forget about the sourdough bread. I'll wait till next year. How about that?
I do owe Scott for the sourdough though, because early on when I was getting into it, I was on a call with you and you gave me some really good tips.
I'm glad they worked out. I'm really
I
glad they
think
worked
it was
out.
basically like the advice was like, don't don't read too many things. Just you
Oh
have to
yeah.
kind of find your own way because there's so many different, methods online.
Yeah.
Kim,
Awesome.
did his advice involve googly eyes?
No,
Just
it did not. I don't have
okay.
any
All
Google
right.
Eyes for mine.
Okay, just checking. Scott may, give different kinds of advice. I don't know.
This is true. That's a deep cut, Philip. I forgot that I like to put googly eyes on my sourdough bread loaves when then post them online. So my pictures often had googly eyes on sourdough
Sourdough
bread.
Joe.
Sourdough Joe, baby. Sourdough Joe Jr., I burned through so many starters for lots of reasons. I had to give it up. I had to hang up my sourdough hat for a bit.
Well,
I'll get it back
and
to it.
then
Maybe this fall. We'll see.
and then your kids decided to bake cookies.
That wasn't their fault. I left the oven on 100 degrees just to get the starter warm in the winter, and I left it in there. And I forgot to tell them it was in there, and they didn't turn on the light. And there's a towel on the handle that covers the window. It was not their fault. I was not angry at all. Yeah, so but they did bake one of my starters, but it wasn't their fault at all. It was my fault.
They're
And,
preheating for cookies.
What's that?
They're
and
preheating for the cookies.
And
yeah.
the cookies were amazing. But so for just to finish out that story, I came home or came down the stairs the next morning and found two just, oh my gosh, heartwarming notes written by each of the two of my youngest kids who performed the cookie baking the night before. And it was, oh, Dad, we're so sorry. We didn't know, we didn't check the oven, and they know how much I loved my sourdough baking. And they left money, cash on the counter. And I was like, part of me was like, okay, I think I'm doing something right. My wife and I are raising good kids because this is their reaction when they accidentally destroy someone else's property, even when it's not their fault. But also, I'm like, I thought if they just told me, if they'd come up to me at like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock that night and said, Dad, we really messed up. We're sorry we baked your starter. I would have said, it's fine. Don't worry about it. And my heart broke that they went to bed feeling so guilty about this. So like afterwards, I'm like, guys, you're good. It's fine. No worries. Dad can always make another starter. And I did. And I did. Well, we're about time here, so I'm going to wrap things up. I'm going to start with Philip again. Philip, can you please let readers and listeners know how they can learn more about you and your books?
Absolutely. Phillip Sanderson. I am at Philip at plsanderson.com. That is my webpage, and there is a field where you can sign up for my newsletter and get my sandy thoughts and an occasional story that comes through.
Awesome. Thank you. Kim?
I'm actually between web pages at the moment, so Instagram or Facebook, KM Jackways on both.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Rebecca?
I am at eternalhauntedsummer.com. All of my writing is listed on there, and my books are for sale on there. And I also run a blog through there and a semi-annual e-zine.
Fantastic. You are one of the busiest scribes, no doubt. Thank you very much. Mary, how about you?
The easiest way to find me is probably to Google Mary Stevenson Sue because I'm the only person with that name in the world. Just put a PH for Stevenson, but that's the same name as on Facebook, Instagram. I'm at www.addingcolortolife.com is my website, and then Valley Glen Elves is my handle on TikTok. Um, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Like I said before, I write under the pen name LA Scott, but my author website is scottiswriting.com, and I am Scott is Writing on all of the major social media platforms. I want to thank all of the scribes who joined me today for our debut episode for season 2 of Cozy Hearth. And I want to thank you, the readers who make all the work we do in the Cozy Vales world, all the writing and the organization and logistics and everything else worthwhile. Love it when you leave us comments, leave us reviews, email us, contact us. It is awesome. Look for Wish Upon a Falling Leaf later in September. We can't wait to share this anthology. Super special. And until next time, stay cozy.